Welcome to the Igniting the CEO Within podcast, where we interview successful high-level professionals to discover lessons they've learned throughout their career that can help ignite that CEO within you. I'm Mark McFatridge, and I'll be your host for the next 15 minutes or so. Our show is sponsored by Quaid, a nationwide community of CEOs and entrepreneurs. Quaid has developed Launchpad, which offers an opportunity for experienced executive coaches to become licensed circle directors. After completing the Launchpad program, you'll lead your own peer advisory circles, helping other CEOs and entrepreneurs excel in their professional and personal lives while providing a community of support, accountability, and challenge. If you'd like to learn more, go to quaidcircle.com. Our show today is going to be awesome. I get to hang out with Dr. Debra Lind. She's a CEO and educator from Nehemiah Consulting out of Cleveland, Ohio. Dr. Lind, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I am excited about just hanging out with you.
Me too. Me too. This will be fun. Let's get to it. You have had a really cool career, and especially in your current work, you get exposure to all kinds of leaders. And some of those leaders are really, really good, and some are not so good. They have opportunity to improve. How about that? What are some traits that you've identified that separate those really great leaders from some that are average or even below average?
Some wonderful traits that I see in great leaders is their ability to be present in the moment, their ability to serve. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, but just rolling up their sleeves and being there with the people. And that is what being present in the moment is. One of my philosophies is the lead in pedagogy of presence. And a lot of what I believe as a leader have come out of my own personal situations, whether they were good times or not so good times. And that pedagogy lean in, it was because my mom was going through dementia. And it helped me to just be present in those moments. And that's what a great leader will do. Traditional leadership was top down leadership. And it was like two separate worlds. They were not present with the people that was actually doing the work. And when a great leader sees their people, the entire organization, the environment, the culture can change for the positive.
I love that. So presence can have a lot of different meanings. What do you mean by presence? Like what does it look like? What does it feel like? Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Well, one of the big things is the mindfulness. Being present is helpful. It is helping the people that they lead understand them. If if the audience could just imagine leaning forward, and while you are talking, Mark, the entire world shuts out.
hmm
I see you, and what you are saying is very important. What you're going through, happy, what the organization is going through, I hear you. I see you. I can empathize with you. It doesn't mean I have to agree with you,
hmm
but your voice matters. Your perspective matters. And that's being present. And it does not necessarily mean just corporations, but this happens at home, in our neighborhood, and in our communities. Being present, you can think about when you are speaking, when you have something to say, when you have a concern or a challenge. That person that you're sharing with, when they lean in, And all that matter is what you're going through or saying or presenting at that moment. You can easily partner with it.
I think that's huge. And you, you bring up a good point. That leadership is, I think it gets overblown, right? Like I think we make it a bigger deal than it is, and a lot of the times it's just being about doing the right things, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is about being anchored, understanding who you are and your own vulnerabilities. What happens when an organization have major cracks? Does the leader beat the people up or do
Yeah,
they own it?
yeah,
This crack, these fractures, whatever is going on, happened on my watch. Am I that type of leader that I can be vulnerable enough and transparent
hmm
and say, I'm a part of this?
yeah. That's really good. I think a lot of my career, well, the majority of my career was spent in banking, and one of the things that I learned as I would enter new opportunities with different banks, I didn't know that I had a formula, but I ended up, as I reflected back, I had a formula, and it ended up, I called it the 4 E's, and my 4 E's were engagement, education, empowerment, and execution. And
Okay.
if you walk through those, the first part is just kind of the management by walking around. Like I would walk around and be present with our teammates, right? Sometimes I would just sit in the break room and talk with people over lunch and get to know them at a personal level and what their goals are and where they want to go and all that kind of stuff. I'd also ask them, what do we do well and what do we stink at, right? Those two things. And so it would give me some good feedback. So that was the engagement piece. The education piece was a lot about here's who we are, here's where we're going, here's how we're going to get there, and here's your role within it. And helping them understand those few things was really powerful. And then the empowerment piece was huge, right? You know what to do, you know how to do there, you know what your role is. Go get them, Tiger, right? And free them up to use their own mind to how they interpret where we're going and how they get there. That was really powerful. And then the execution piece is one of the things that you were talking about, which is really accountability. And it's accountability both ways. It's accountability that I do as the company, say what we're going to do, and you as our teammate do what you say you're going to do, and we hold each other accountable. And that seemed to work really, really well. And it's a lot about what you just talked about.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I have incorporated Posner and Kushner's 5 practices of the exemplary leader.
Hmm.
And those practices are number one, model the way. We must be what we want to see.
Mm,
We cannot have an expectation of our people if we're not willing to walk with them. The second is uh, inspire a shared vision. When we give our vision and we inspire the people that we expect to carry out, they can easily carry it out because they become a part of it. Then challenge the process. What's not working?
hmm
Do you give me that power to tell you what's not working? Am I open to do that?
Yep.
Or do I just be quiet and hope someone else says it?
Right.
Then there's enabling others to act, giving them that power,
Yep.
helping them to be a part of some of those decisions, and then inspire and encourage the heart. Be
I
the
love that.
cheerleader. That's that is so important. And if we take that and think about that in our own lives,
Hmm.
how does that make us feel?
Yeah.
When people are present and they have and operate under those 5 practices, that's foundational. And it shouldn't be something that we only teach in the classroom or, doing professional development and it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
No, this is practical, hands-on, everyday living.
I could not agree with you more. I think it also comes back to being self-aware and being yeah, I use the phrase unapologetically authentic a lot, right? So be yourself all the time, right? And that doesn't mean you can just be a jerk and say that's just who I am. It's understanding, it's emotional intelligence, it's all those types of things, right? But know who you are and be proud of that and live that and I think that plays into a lot of those 5 foundational pieces that you just listed.
Absolutely. Uh, my organization is built on purpose, understanding your purpose and serving with heart. We have to, our leadership goes far beyond management or directing, but to leading with that purpose and serving the people with heart, it radiates, it
Yeah.
resonates, it will spread. And then when the failures happen, and they will,
Mhm.
we repair them. We don't hide them, sweep them under the rug. But what if some catastrophic thing happened to an organization? Instead of blaming and hiding, we take those issues, challenges, and use them as inflection points. And
Mm.
we refer. I have a method that I use called the Kintsugi method, and it's based on an old Japanese method of mending broken pottery with fine gold.
Mm.
And when we take the fractures in the organization, we use those failures and we build them up stronger with the gold, not to hide, but
Mhm.
to actually show. Now we have solid structure. We can reforge and make what was broken solid.
Mhm. I love that. This has been so good. Hey, let me ask as we start to wind down. Let me ask one question that's kind of off script. If you think back to 21-year-old Deborah, what is one thing that you wish she knew that you've learned over the years?
21-year-old Deborah. Not to 21-year-old Deborah was quick at reacting. I have learned that my peace is my power.
Mm,
So I am not quick to react. I do my best to be strategic and calculate, to take my time to respond.
I
But
love that.
also, when I think about from my entire life, every season of my life has made me the Deborah that I am. Just in my writing and going back, I am actually amazed that so many parts and aspects of my life are tied in to who I am as a woman, an individual, who I am as a business leader and professor, my entire life, mother, wife, everything is time. And that's so unique. Yeah, it's amazing
That's
to me.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I love it, and I think th that makes the most interesting people, right? The people who are always growing, who are always surrounding themselves with people who are different than them, people who have different beliefs, different backgrounds, people who travel, people who read, are just fascinating, and it who we are at 12 and 22 and 32 and 42 and 52, it should always be different, right? Because you're getting exposure to different things, and that's a full life if you're doing that.
Absolutely. And I do my best to live a full life. Busy,
Yeah.
always trying to grow, reading and writing and traveling and doing and creating and helping to create and helping to build and seeing opportunities. That's what life is about. That's
Yeah,
why we are here, not to serve ourselves, but to help others, to serve others, to recreate value in others, to help others get to their purpose.
I love it. Dr. Lynn, this has been just amazing. Can you share with our audience what would an engagement with you and Nehemiah Consulting look like, and then how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, thank you. What an engagement with Nehemiah Consultants and Debra Lind would look like this. First, I need to know what your needs are. Are you a aspiring leader that just want to learn some of the basic leadership principles? To a C-level organization that need to help build their people or departments, or you're in a catastrophic failure. We have different components that can help, different curriculum, but not just, like I said, the traditional leadership development, not
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
But that corporation that may have gone through a major loss, we go in and first do some simulations to try to get to the root cause of whatever that issue is, whether it's brokenness or just want to expand. What's the root cause? What's being done well? Then what
Hmm.
can we do to help build and make it stronger? The we have different programs, the CEO Guide, where we help C-level leaders coach them, not just sitting in a boardroom saying this is what you should do, but actually coaching, walking alongside of them and helping to have practical applications. One major thing that I love doing is our simulation labs.
Hmm.
And so I will write a case study, and I use it a lot with our international students, and come up with a project that is in utter failure, and give 2 days, and we work through that together uh, with the risk analysis all the way up to how can we fix it? What can we do? What's going on? Finding out, is it a leadership failure? Is it a systems failure?
Hmm.
Mhm. That quantum leadership, going from one style of leadership to the other style, putting all of the leaders in the room, all the different perspectives in the room. It seems like chaos, but when it comes together, we learn from each other
I love it.
of those different perspectives. So people can get a hold of me. My website is leadershipconsulting.com. I am on LinkedIn, where I believe you may have
Hmm.
located me.
Yep.
My office number is 44. Should I give my
Sure.
contact number? 440-258-9801. You can leave me messages, call me, go to my website, get a hold of us. We have a phenomenal team of restoration architects, but it's what we call them. And
Yeah.
whatever we can do, training, coaching, Six Sigma,
Love it.
we are available.
I love it. Dr. Lynn, this has been just a joy. Thank you so much for
Thank,
taking some time and hanging out with me.
thank you so much, Mark, for inviting me and just sharing from your own background. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks so much. All right, y'all. We did it again. We found another amazing leader who is willing to share her insights with us. As we wrap up, I want to remind you that Igniting the CEO Within is sponsored by Quaid, a nationwide community of CEOs and entrepreneurs. Quaid has created Launchpad, which provides an opportunity for experienced executive coaches to become licensed circle directors and significantly impact the lives of CEOs and entrepreneurs. To find out more, visit quaidcircle.com. Until next time, keep igniting that CEO within you. I'm Mark McFatridge. Thanks for listening.